The movie opens with Rose walking through heavy rain toward her house. She carefully locks up the building next door with several bolts, hinting at something secret she is hiding. Inside, her daughter Maisy is busy decorating a cake. It's clear she is preparing it for someone special, her father, who sits in a wheelchair. Pa cannot move or speak, so Rose gives him daily injections to keep him alive. Maisy blows out the candle on the cake, fills the room with joy, and hands him gifts before taking a photo together. She then feeds him a slice of cake and gives him his medicine, showing her love and care for him. All of a sudden, loud knocking erupts at the door. A desperate man pleads for help, explaining that his brother has been badly hurt in a road accident. Rose hesitates to get involved, but at Maisy's insistence, she finally agrees to let them in. She examines the injured man, Jack, and advises his brother, Matty, to take him to the hospital, but he refuses, afraid of the raging storm. Rose begins stitching Jack's wounds on the dining table, while Maisy, though scared, does her best to help. Matty introduces himself, and they exchange names. Rose reassures him that his brother will recover. Matty then steps into the bathroom to clean up, secretly hiding a knife in his sock before returning. While Jack rests on the couch, Matty thanks Rose for her kindness. Her warm, motherly nature leads her to invite him to share the soup Maisy has prepared. During their conversation, Rose learns that Matty is from London and that he and Jack are meant to meet a friend with a boat. Matty stays vague about the details until Jack, now awake, casually remarks that they are going fishing. As they talk, Jack mentions he needs to let his people know they're safe. Rose explains there's no phone signal in the area, and they don't own a phone either. She tells him the nearest option is an old phone booth on the way to the village, but because of the storm, she can't take him there until morning. Jack then asks to use the restroom, and Matty directs him inside. There, Jack is startled to realize they grabbed the wrong bag. It's revealed that the brothers were mixed up in illegal dealings and had stolen a large sum of cash, which is still inside their wrecked car. Desperate to retrieve it, Jack asks Rose to lend him her car. To make the request more convincing, Matty throws a fit, shouting about his belongings left behind. Seeing that Matty won't calm down, Rose agrees to take Jack to the crash site, but only if Matty stays locked in a room, since she refuses to leave Maisy alone with a stranger. After Rose and Jack leave, Maisy quietly takes the key and talks with Matty. It's the first time she has ever spoken to someone besides her mother. Their friendly exchange makes her trust him, and she eventually unlocks the door. Matty asks her to take him upstairs, where he finds a locked room. Maisy explains it's her mother's workshop, strictly off-limits. Meanwhile, as Rose drives Jack to the crash site, he thanks her and assumes she is a nurse. She clarifies that she was an anesthetist and opens up about her husband's accident and the devastating loss of her son. When they arrive, Jack tells her to wait in the car while he retrieves the money bag. But Rose notices a dead man inside the wrecked vehicle. The mood shifts darkly when Jack pulls out a gun and forces her to drive him to the phone booth so he can contact his partner. At the booth, Jack warns Rose to keep quiet about what she saw. He admits he's done terrible things she couldn't possibly imagine, but Rose calmly tells him he has no idea what she has endured. At home, Maisy welcomes Matty into her room, proudly showing him her treasured belongings, including a map she uses to imagine traveling the world. Meanwhile, Jack is on the phone with his boss, who grows impatient and insists he'll come himself to collect the money bag. It's revealed that the corpse in the crashed car is the boss's son, but Jack lies, claiming the young man is alive. As Rose quietly tries to arm herself with a tool, Jack appears behind her, warning that the boss will be merciless if he learns the truth about his son's death. Rose responds firmly, showing no fear of his threats. Back upstairs, Maisy and Matty's bond deepens until a radio broadcast interrupts them. The report names 3 men wanted for an armed raid in East London, Matty and Jack among them. Panicked, Matty quickly turns the radio off and stumbles to explain that it was an accident, not what it sounded like. Despite her fear, Maisy shows compassion and urges him to return to his room before her mother comes back. The tension peaks when Rose and Jack return. Jack forces Maisy to free Matty, holding the family at gunpoint and tearing them apart. Suddenly, headlights flash outside. Jack goes to check and sees a police officer. He hides Maisy and Matty in the locked room and orders Rose to greet the cop without revealing anything. The officer steps inside, explaining there's an ongoing manhunt. Rose tries to stay calm, but Pa's restless stare unsettles the visitor. The policeman notices a family photo of Pa and Maisy, oddly cropped, and then Pa struggles to call for help. Rose covers by saying Pa often behaves this way when he's late for his medication. As the officer prepares to leave, he suddenly questions why Rose has a photo of a missing girl, Maisy, whose entire family vanished years ago. Jack ambushes the policeman from behind, and the house erupts into chaos with gunfire and hand-to-hand fighting. From inside the locked room, Matty hears the struggle, while Maisy seizes her chance to knock him out with a vase. The officer eventually overpowers Jack, but his relief turns to shock when he catches sight of Maisy. In a sudden twist, Rose appears and shoots the policeman dead. Maisy is left shaken and confused, while Rose rushes to inject Pa after Maisy insists she just heard her father speak. Rose then methodically cleans the scene, locking Jack and Matty in the basement. With Maisy unknowingly helping, she stages the cop's body at the crash site, making it look like he was killed in a shootout with Jack's gang. She reassures Maisy that the police cannot be trusted, claiming no one is good except her. Down in the basement, Jack and Matty break free from their cuffs and escape through another door. Tension quickly rises between them. Matty insists they should abandon the cursed house, but Jack refuses to leave without the bag of money. Their argument escalates, exposing Matty's fragile mental state, prone to violent outbursts and hallucinations. Jack angrily reminds him that their mother left them because of his condition and orders him to wait in the barn. Consumed by greed, Jack sneaks back into the house, climbing into Rose's locked workshop through a window. What he finds inside is horrifying. A hidden chamber with an amputated woman lying in front of multiple CCTV monitors. Jack realizes Rose's dark secret. Maisy isn't really her daughter. The woman is actually Pa's wife and Maisy's true mother, who has been kept captive all this time. Newspaper clippings confirm that Maisy, whose real name is Jenny, lost her memory of her real family after they disappeared years earlier. When Jack attempts to free the captive woman, she begs him to end her suffering instead. Struggling with the decision, he finally smothers her with a pillow to grant her release. Outside, Rose notices her sheep scattering and realizes the brothers have escaped. In the barn, Rose confronts Matty with a gun, but instead of harming him, she softens, saying he reminds her of her dead son. She promises to care for him, and Matty, vulnerable and broken, accepts her as his new mother. Meanwhile, Jack sneaks back into the house, grabs the money, and seizes Maisy from behind. He pleads with her to listen, revealing the shocking truth about Rose. Once inside a room, he tells Maisy that her real name is Jenny, and Rose is not her true mother. Years ago, Maisy's real family's car collided with Rose's, killing Rose's husband and son. In her grief and twisted vengeance, Rose took Maisy and Pa to replace the family she had lost. Jack gives Maisy photos and a necklace from the workshop, sparking fragments of her buried memories. While this unfolds, Jack's boss, Mac, discovers the car wreck and realizes he is closing in. Desperate to escape, Jack instructs Maisy to lead her father toward a car while he searches for Matty. But the barn is empty. Matty has chosen another path. Jack returns to the house and finds him at the top of the stairs. To his shock, Matty declares that he will stay with Rose, his new mother. Rose suddenly fires at Jack, grazing his neck. He ducks into cover while Rose poisons Matty against him, claiming Jack never cared. In a tense standoff, Jack shouts that Maisy has seen Rose's workshop and knows the truth. Furious, Rose tries to force Jack to surrender, but he fights back, striking her and grabbing her gun. Just as Jack prepares to finish her, Matty lunges in, knocking him down and unleashing a flurry of punches, betraying his brother in favor of Rose. Matty lifts Rose to her feet just as Maisy appears, helping Jack toward the waiting car. Jack and Maisy attempt to flee, but Rose pursues them with a gun. They retreat into the barn, where Rose desperately insists to Maisy that she is the only one who has ever raised and loved her. Just then, Mac arrives at the property, shouting for Jack and Matty. Jack hurriedly hands Maisy the car keys, urging her to escape with her father while he runs to confront Mac. The situation escalates when Mac, furious over his missing money, demands answers about his son. Jack lies, claiming Rose killed him, but Mac already knows the brothers are responsible and beats Jack savagely. He shoots Jack in the leg and calls Matty out. Rose, cold and detached, tells Mac he can do whatever he wants with Jack and the money, but he must leave Matty out of it. Violence erupts. Jack stabs Mac in the leg, prompting Rose to shoot him in the head. One of Mac's men attacks, overpowering Rose and Matty, and nearly kills Rose. At the last moment, Maisy courageously rams the attacker, giving them an opening to flee. She escapes with her father in the car, leaving Jack, Rose, and Matty unconscious on the ground. In the aftermath, Maisy finds comfort under a blanket as a policewoman reassures her that Pa will survive and vows to track down Rose. But in a chilling final scene, Rose and her new son, Matty, sit at a dinner table in another isolated house. On the CCTV monitor before them is Jack, mutilated with his legs amputated, condemned to the same horrific fate that once befell Maisy's real mother. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy to hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice, just to be sure. It would be best if you watched the whole movie. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this.